My fiance confessed that he's ashamed of my poor family. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. I grew up really poor, but my family has come up in life. My father opened up his own business and my mom and him run it. Although it's not a huge lucrative business, it's still comfortable enough for my siblings and I to be happy. Because of the way that I grew up, I knew that I wanted to marry a rich man, and he had to be rich. I had 5 serious relationships before I turned 25. I broke up with each guy because I knew that they weren't going to be able to give me the life I wanted. There's 2 things I know. I did not want to get to 27 and not be married, so I knew I had to act quickly. Started hanging out where I knew rich people would hang out. This is where I met my bestie. This girl had my back. If she was going to Paris, she'd take me to Paris. She would pay for everything. My parents neglected her and my family basically took her in. So she would come to my parents' house once or twice a week to have dinner. A few weeks later, she introduced me to my now fiance. And she hated him. She told me to stay away from him, but I couldn't listen. See, he's hot, plus he has money. And he targeted me. The first night he met me, he could not stop looking at me. We hung out every day for a week, and after that, he asked me to be his girlfriend. Of course, I said yes. A few months later, I moved in with him. My family approved. His family loved me too. Sometimes he would comment on my family's house, or the way that they dress. My parents came over to his parents for dinner. He told my dad in passing that it looked like he didn't have enough time to get ready. My dad was wearing a button-up shirt. He and I got into a huge fight that night, and that's when he confessed that he was embarrassed by my family. That's when my boyfriend's parents asked me to forgive him. They said they were ashamed of his behavior. I forgave him, and once I did, he proposed. He told me he wanted me to be a stay-at-home wife. That was my dream. All I wanted was to have kids and raise them at home. Parents were happy about the engagement, and so were his. As we started planning the wedding, he started saying things like, "I hope your parents aren't going to wear what they usually wear to the wedding." And he insisted that my dad needed to buy a $3,000 suit. Otherwise, he wouldn't look expensive enough. And that's verbatim. We got into another huge fight. He showed up to my house with a Mercedes apologizing. I'm not sure what to do. Should I even marry him? I know my life with him will be complete luxury. What should I do?
Am I wrong for being rude about giving up a plane seat for a baby? Ooh, I love the entitlement ones. These are so fun when it involves people, parents, and babies on airplanes. My best friend and I spent a month backpacking around Europe. By the time we were going to head home, we were exhausted. To make our flight, we took a 4 a.m. shuttle to the airport and could barely think or keep our eyes open. We had pretty crap seats on our first flight. They are right up against a wall or cubby at the end of the plane, and not only didn't recline backwards, but pushed forward a little while the people in front fully reclined into us. Needless to say, we didn't sleep, but it was a quick flight, quick layover, and we were praying for decent enough seats to get a good sleep on our final flight home, which was 6.5 hours. Okay, 6.5 hours is nothing. Okay, wait till you do the San Francisco to Dubai 15.5 hour flight. Then you know what real pain is. I went from SFO to Sydney. Pain in the middle by myself. Still have nightmares about those times. It's so hard. I wish you should just drug me. We are in a 3-person row, but the aisle seat remains empty as the plane gets closer to finish boarding. We are so excited at this point, thinking we can stretch out and share the spare seat. Boarding is finished, the seat is still empty, and we were so excited to finally get some sleep. After boarding, a woman from a few rows down says she noticed the empty seat and asks if she can switch us. We are a bit confused. Then explains that she would ask her seat neighbor to fill our empty seat so that she can have a full seat for her baby. What the fudge? She wants to get a full seat for her baby for which she didn't pay for? Get out of here! We were visibly disappointed. I was super nauseous at this point and just wanted to sleep for a bit. We asked if we can switch seats for a couple of hours because we'd been traveling for a long time and we are really wrung out. She said okay. Shortly after, we were served a snack. The woman couldn't really manage her baby and asked a flight attendant to hold it so that she could eat. A couple of minutes after this, she came over and said that's it. The man is coming to fill the empty seat. We have to move back to our assigned seats and let her have an extra for her baby. I gave her a rude look and looked away and didn't say a word more. She put her baby's seat on the seat next to her, now empty, and that was that. The baby was loud, always whining and crying, but that's nothing you can blame a baby for. She then gave the baby a rattle toy, which was constantly being shaken and really loud, on top of the whining and crying. The mom also shook the rattle toy for the baby to try to get it to quiet down. Didn't work, making additional noise. This wasn't once or twice, but throughout most of the flight, including lights and windows off / sleeping time. After we got off the plane, I complained to my friend and she said I was being an asshole for acting so irritated by this woman when she was struggling with the baby. She said I should have been kinder, but that she didn't bring it up or bug me about it because of the irritability of needing sleep and feeling shitty. I'd like to get some outside opinions on whether we should just have offered the seat and whether I'm an asshole for being grumpy about the whole thing. And to clarify, the seat swap didn't happen mid-flight. She charged over after 45 minutes or less and said we had to give up the seat now. You're nice. I would have been like, get the flight attendant. Not my problem.
Am I the asshole for not letting my brother's boyfriend choose my wedding dress. This situation is ridiculous enough that I wouldn't be asking about it here if not for my brother not being on my side about it, something that has never happened before. I, 24 female, plan to get married in July. Me and my brother, 22 male, have been incredibly close to each other since childhood, and for this reason, I have made him into my man of honor. We've never even gotten into a fight with each other since middle school, at least until now. Now my brother has a boyfriend, 25 male, who desperately wanted to be involved in my wedding planning. I found his eagerness a bit odd, but harmless at the time, so I let him in. However, he started sending me links to the wedding dresses he said, quote, I should totally be wearing, which I looked over, but none of them looked like my style. I eventually did choose a wedding dress of my liking. However, my brother's boyfriend sent me a message saying, quote, wow, so you didn't even bother seeing my suggestions? Why did you waste my time trying to help you?
Oh, wow.
I told him that I did look over it, but none of the dresses he sent seemed my style. And then he replied with, quote, I didn't know your style was Moby Dick the white whale.
Oh, wow.
But all right then.
Wow. That is too much sass. Too much sass.
I was shocked at what he told me, as he never seemed to be the type to be rude to someone. Not to mention, he knew I have insecurities and issues around my weight.
That's so mean.
I told him that his opinion on my wedding dress is frankly irrelevant because I'm the one who has the last say on it, and I thought that that would make him apologize for his previous offensive remark. Instead, he just said that I'm a controlling bride and I intentionally set him up to try to help me just to waste his time for nothing. I told him that if he's not happy with my decision, then he doesn't need to come at all, as I don't need his negativity around.
Yeah.
He didn't reply back. However, my brother called me to accuse me of treating his boyfriend badly, and I shouldn't have dismissed him like that. I told him how rude he was to me, but he just said that his boyfriend's just a bit of a fashion critic and didn't try to hurt my feelings.
He's got the love blinders on.
But I told him that I just simply didn't like the wedding dresses he sent me. My brother then went on saying that I only dismissed his boyfriend because I don't respect him as an effeminate man.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea where this even came from, and that if I don't apologize personally, then he'll drop out as the best man from my wedding.
Wow.
I feel like this entire situation is crazy, and I don't know how my brother's boyfriend managed to paint me as the bad guy in front of my brother, unless there's a reason I'm overlooking for why I'm the asshole. Am I the asshole?
No.
No, this is a T-ball one.
What is up with these
What?
crazy people? The brother is like essentially implying like you don't respect my boyfriend because
Right.
he's more feminine, because
Right.
he likes fashion. There's straight men that love fashion. Like, what does that,
Yeah.
like,
No, it's
That has
just
nothing to do with
drawing
any of this.
blank
Yeah.
conclusions. It's just like connecting this to this just because you want to. In all reality, she let him in almost as a courtesy
yeah.
to say, okay, fine, like, sure, come be a part of the crew, but I didn't like anything you said.
Why are you letting a significant other come between you and arguably the most important people you have in your life? Like, they are your ride or dies. They are your day ones. Like, you and your boyfriend break up. Who do you think is going to be there for you? Your sister who loves you so much to make you a man of honor. Like,
yeah.
It's sometimes hard to not be manipulated by the right people.
I know.
It
That's
can,
what's scary about love and like relationships and like blindly trusting
and
someone.
it can be so subtle
Yeah.
too, to where it builds up and you don't realize, to where they're controlling like even these thoughts, because clearly when you're on the outside, it doesn't make sense.
If a female was doing that, saying like, you're not picking out the dress that I'm picking for you. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if I was doing that to you.
And you were mad that I didn't like your choice.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
It just isn't my vibe.
that just doesn't, I can't even see that even computing for a second. So I don't know why, again, back to that conclusion, that doesn't even, where does that even pull any weight,
No.
that comment?
It's super strange.
Yeah.
I really want to see pictures of the dresses now, but also let's just point out that he literally called her a Moby Dick looking whale or whatever,
Right?
using an insecurity against her. Like,
Right?
I don't know how the brother didn't see that and be like, hey, that was super inappropriate. Like, I get you're upset that like you feel like time was wasted, but like you kind of inserted yourself there, and like that was a low blow. Like, you know, my sister is insecure about weight issues. Like, that was unacceptable.